Hello student, today we will discuss previous year question of electrical engineering part of OJ exam of 2019 year. So let's start. First question is, during charging the electrolyte of a lead acid battery becomes option A is stronger, option B is weaker, option C is diluted with water and option C is none of these. And here is the answer is option B, that is weaker. Okay, next is question number 2. Question number 2 says that the impedance of coil connected across a single phase AC source 3 plus J4 ohms if another capacitive load with an impedance of 3 minus J4 ohms is connected in parallel with this coil, the overall impedance seen by the AC source will be option A is 25 ohm, option B is 6 by 25 ohm, option B is 25 by 6 ohm, option D is 6 ohm. So here in the question say that two impedances are connected in parallel, and first impedance Z1 value is 3 plus J4 ohm and Z2 is 3 minus J4 ohm. Here two impedances connected in parallel. So here directly put the formula. What is the formula? Now Z is equal to Z1 into Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. Then put the value of Z1 Z2. Then after that calculate the total impedance value. Then after the calculation Z is equal to 25 by 6 ohm. So we can easily calculate this when the two impedances are connected in parallel. If the two impedance are connected in series, what is the formula? Normal formula, what is this? Z is equal to Z1 plus Z2. That is the formula. But here in the question, two impedances are connected in parallel. So formula will be Z is equal to Z1 into Z2 by Z1 plus Z2. So in this question, option C is the right answer, that is 25 by 6 ohm. Is question number 3, that is the overall power factor of a series RLC circuit with a resistance of 100 ohm, inductive reactance of 273.2 ohm and capacitive reactance of 100 ohm will be option A is unity, option B is 0, option C is 0.5 lagging, option D is 0.5 leading. So here in the question, resistance and inductance capacitance are connected in series, and those value are given and find, and also given to find the power factor of the circuit. So mainly we have to know what is power factor. Power factor is nothing but it is the power factor formula is R by Z. Here R value is given, that is 100 ohm, but Z value not given. So we have to first calculate the Z value. So here L value is given, that is XL is equal to 273.2 ohm, R value is given 100 ohm, X is capacitive reactance is equal to 100 ohm. Then we have to calculate the Z value. Then what is the Z formula? Z is equal to R square plus XL minus XC square or root 2 over. And after that, when you calculate the Z is equal to put the R value, XL value and XC value, that is Z value is root over of 100 square plus 273.2 minus 100 square or root 2 over. Then after calculating this, then Z value will be 199.99 ohm. So Z value calculated and R value is given in the question. So formula is power factor formula is R by Z, that is 100 by 199.99 is equal to 0.5 lagging. So how lagging will be said that? Because lagging will here said that because your XL value is more than the XC value. That's why your power factor will be 0.5 lagging. If here XL is more than XC, so that's why lagging is here. If XC is more than XL, then we said that 0.5 leading. But here in the case XL is more than XC, so that 0.5 lagging the right answer. So option D is the right answer, that is 0.5 lagging. Is question number 4, that is the capacitive reactance offered by capacitance of 10 microfarad to an alternating current of I is given that Im sin 100 pi t minus pi by 6 ampere. Option A is 318.931 ohm, option B is 0.31831 ohm, option C is 31.831 ohm, option D is 31283.1 ohm. So here in the question, capacitor value given, that is 10 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad is given that, and asking to find the capacitive reactance, that is Xc. And another equation given, that is I is equal to Im sin 100 pi t minus pi by 6 ampere. Here I is given that. what is this, why it is given that? Because in this way we know the main equation I is that is Im sin omega t. We know the fundamental equation of I is that is I is equal to Im sin omega t. To compare this equation we know that omega is equal to that is 100 pi. So you find that omega is equal to 100 pi. Then after that we have to find the x value. X value what, nothing but that is x is equal to 1 by 2 pi fc. 1 by 2 pi fc, where omega is equal to 2 pi f, where omega is equal to 2 pi, and instead of 2 pi f we write the omega, then x is equal to omega c. Then after that we put the value, that is 1 by omega plus we write the 100 pi into c value also given, that is 10 into 10 to the minus n. Then after that put that 10 into 10 to the minus n, then we give the we find the answer, that is 318.31 ohm. So here option A is the right answer, that is 31.31 ohm. So the next question is question number 6, that is the reactive power demanded by a circuit element will be 0 when the phase difference between the current passing through it and the voltage across it becomes equal to, option A is 0 degree, option B is plus minus 45 degree, option C is plus minus 90 degree, and option D is plus minus 180 degree. So in this question reactive power is given and the reactive power value is what is 0, and when the and says that, asking that in the question to find the, when the reactive power is 0, find the angle between voltage and current. So here we find the angle between voltage and current, that is theta. We find the theta value. So we know reactive power formula is nothing but Vi sin theta. Here reactive power 0 means here this term will be 0. So when this term will be 0, when theta will be 0, then this term will be 0, because sin theta we know that is 0. So sin 0 degree 0. So overall reactive power will be 0. So overall reactive power 0. So in the question asking that find the theta value, we know theta, when you put the theta is equal to 0, then overall reactive power will be 0. So the angle between voltage and current, that is theta. So theta is equal to 0 degree. So here in the question answer is be 0 degree. So option A is the right answer, that is 0 degree. So at 0 degree the reactive power must be 0. So the next question is question number 5, that is the gravity control instrument has a crowded scale because current is proportional to, option A is gravitational force, option C is deflecting angle, option B is balancing weight, and option D 0.5 lagging. So in this question the answer is option D 0.5 lagging. So option D is the right answer. Question. So the next question is question number 7, that is say that in the measurement of power consumed by a 3-phase balanced inductive load using 2 wattmeter method, one of the wattmeters omega 2 shows 0 reading. The load PF is, option A is 0 lagging, option B is unity, option C 0.5 leading, option D 0.5 lagging. So in this question said that 3-phase balanced inductive load is given that, and 2 wattmeter method, one of the wattmeters omega 2 shows 0, and one of the wattmeter given the power value is 0. So the load PF, find the load PF is given that. So here option D is right answer, that is 0.5 lagging. So here option D is the right answer, that is 0.5 lagging. So the next question is question number 8, that is to avoid the creeping error in the energy meters, the disc must be, option A is be laminated, option B is be thin, option C is have bar magnet, and option D is have holes. So this question is related to theory based question on the energy meter related question. So in this question said that here is a energy meter, and in a energy meter creeping error must be so that. So here asking that to eliminate this creeping error, what must be the energy meter? The disc must be what? So here the answer is the disc must have holes. When the disc must have holes, so then we can avoid the creeping error. So the option D is the right answer, that is have holes. So the next question is question number 9, that is active materials of lead acid cells are, option A is spongy lead, option B is lead peroxide, option C is diluted H2SO4, option D is all of these. So here in the question say that the active materials must be in lead acid will be Option is spongy lead, option B is lead peroxide, option C is diluted H2SO4. In these three materials, that is spongy lead peroxide and diluted H2SO4 must be shown in the lead acid cell, that is active materials. So here option D is the right answer, that is all of these. Then the next question is question number 10, that is, in a lead acid cell, hydrogen is liberated at option A is positive plates, option B is negative plates, option C is both plates, option D is none of these. So in this question, in lead acid cells, hydrogen liberated at both plates, that is positive plates, both negative plates. So here option C is the right answer, that is both plates. Positive plates is the answer and negative plates will be C that. So option C is the right answer, that is both plates. So the next question is 91, that is say that the pipes carrying steam in thermal power plant is made up of option A is steel, option B is aluminum, option C is cast iron, option D is cobalt. In this question says that in thermal power plant pipe is used. Why this pipe is used? The pipe is used to carry the heat steam. So in this question arises that this pipe is made of which material? So in this question option A is the right answer. The pipe is made of steel. So option A is the right answer, that is steel. In thermal power plant the pipe is must be made in steel to carry the heat steam. So option A is the right answer, that is steel. So the next question is 92, that is the rated maximum conductor temperature of XLPE, that is cross linked polyethylene insulator cable is option A is 90 degrees Celsius, option B is 60 degrees Celsius, option C is 50 degrees Celsius, option D is 65 degrees Celsius. So in the question say that the maximum conductor temperature in XLPE insulator cable is, what is that? Now option A is 90 degrees Celsius. At 90 degrees Celsius the maximum conductor temperature is. So option A is the right answer, that is 90 degrees Celsius. So the next question is 93, that is the types of internal wiring used in domestic installation are option A is cleat wiring, option B is CTC and RTC wiring, option C is metal or PVC wiring, option D is all of these. Here in the question say that in internal wiring of a house, which type of wiring which must be used? In this type of answer is all the option A, B, C. Cleat wiring, B is CTC or RTC wiring, option C is metal or PVC wiring are used. So all three type of wiring are mostly used in house wiring. So option D is the right answer, that is all of these. In these three type of wiring are mostly used in the house wiring. So option D is the right answer, that is all of these. Then question number 94, that is say that the main characteristic of a fuse element are option A is low temperature, low melting point, option B is high conductivity, option C least deterioration due to oxidation, and option D is the all of these. Here in the question asking that the characteristic of the fuse element, what must be the characteristic of the fuse element? So first of all, what is fuse? And fuse is mostly used in the to protect the electrical equipment from short circuit condition. For short circuit condition, we protect the electrical equipment. To protect this short circuit condition, we must use the fuse material. So the fuse material have three main characteristics. What is that? First is low melting point, option B is high conductivity, and option C is least deterioration due to oxidation. So option D is the right answer. All of these characteristics must be shown in the fuse element. So option D is the right answer, that is all of these. So the next question is 95, that is the three-dimensional specification of GI, that is galvanized iron earthing plate are option A is 60 cm into 60 cm into 3 mm, option B is 60 cm into 60 cm into 6 mm, option C is 60 cm into 60 cm into 4 mm, option D is 60 cm into 60 cm into 5 mm. So here in the answer is option B, that is 60 cm into 6 mm. That is the GI pipe dimension in earthing plate we use. So option B is the right answer. So the next question is question number 96. That is a DC voltage of 300 voltage is applied to a resistance R of 29.85 ohms. The current through his resistance R is measured using a DC ammeter A having 0.15 ohm. Internal resistance, the voltage drop across resistance R will be option A is 300 volt, option B is 29.85 volt, option C is 29.5 volt, option D is 1.5 volt. So here in the question said that A circuit is given that, and a circuit have a 3 voltage source, that is source voltage, and a ammeter is connected in series, that is this ammeter internal resistance is 0.15 ohm, and a resistance is connected. This resistance value is 29.85 ohm, and here in the question asking that to find the voltage across this resistance. So here you find the voltage across this resistance. What will we do? Now here you exactly put the formula voltage division rule. What is the voltage division rule formula? That is nothing but the V drop across R. V drop across R means this R. V drop across R is formula is supply voltage into same resistance. Which resistance we find the voltage value, same resistance by total resistance. Here two resistance we see that two resistance. What is two resistance? One is this R and another is this ammeter internal resistance. So voltage drop is equal to 3 voltage drop is equal to 300 into 29.85 by 29.85 plus 0.15 is equal to V drop is equal to 298.5 volt. So here answer is 298.5 volt. So the next question is 97, that is a grid connected generator of a hydropower plant in India runs at a speed of 375 rpm. The number of silent pole present will be option is 16, option B is 8, option C is 10, option D is 12. So here on the question say that a speed ns is given that is ns is equal to 375 rpm, that is ns is equal to rotating mechanical speed. So ns given by 375 rpm, and here asking that to find the pole. Which pole? Na silent pole machine, to find the p, that is pole. So here you know the formula, that is ns is equal to 120 f by p. We know 120, and another find the p, and also we know ns value is given the question. For next question is what is the value of frequency. We generally assume that frequency must be 50 hertz, that is f is equal to 50. Then after that we simply calculate the pole value, that is p is equal to 120 f by ns, that is p is equal to 120 into 50 by 375, that is pole is equal to 16 pole. So here is the answer is the option A is the right answer, that is 16 number of pole are used in the silent pole machine. So the next question is the 98, that is the major use of the economizer in a thermal power plant is to, option A is heat of the incoming water with exhaust steam, option B is heat of the pulverized fuel in exhaust gases, C is of heat of the incoming air by exhaust gases, and option D is heat of the incoming water by exhaust gases. So here the question is that in thermal power plant we use a economizer component, and what is the function of the economizer component? That is the question is arise that. Here in the answer is option D, that is heat of the incoming water by exhaust gases. So economizer most function is the heat of the incoming water by exhaust gases. So here option D is the right answer. Then question number 99 said that which particle is bombarded on heavy nucleus of nuclear fuel in nuclear power plant? Option A is electron, option B is proton, option C is neutron, option D is photon. Here the question arise in the nuclear power plant basics. So here the particle, which particle is bombarded on heavy nucleus of the nuclear fuel. So your neutron particle is bombarded on a heavy nucleus of nuclear fuel. So here the option C is the right answer, that is neutron. Then the question number is 100, that is which of the following material is not used in the moderator? Option is oxygen, option B is ordinary water, option C is heavy water, and option D is graphite. So this question also related to the power plant basic. So there is in power plant there is a moderator is used. Mainly moderator we see that ordinary water also we see, heavy water also we see, and graphite also we see, but oxygen we don't see in the moderator. So here option A is the right answer, that is oxygen. Oxygen we do not see in the moderator. So option A is the right answer, that is oxygen. So the next question is 101. If the mechanical load on the shaft of a DC shunts motor is gradually increased within its full load range, its speed will, option A is reduced drastically, option B is remain constant, option C is increase rapidly, option D is gradually reduced by a very small margin from its no load value. So this question come under DC shunt motor part. Here in this question say that if the mechanical load on the shaft is increases, then what will be speed will occur? Then your answer will be the speed will be remain constant. If the mechanical load on the shaft will increases, then here also the speed will constant. So your option B is remain constant is the right answer. So the next question is 102. The average value of a sinusoidally varying voltage over full cycle is option A is 0, option B is pi by 2 times of its peak value, option C is 2 by pi times its peak value, option D is 1 by pi times its peak value. So your answer is option A 0. The average value of a sinusoidally varying voltage over full cycle is 0. So option A is the right answer. The next question is 103. The core of a single phase 2-winding transformer is laminated to option A is simplify the construction, option B is reduce historical losses, option C is reduce eddy current losses, option D is achieve high permeability. So these questions come from the transformer part. In the transformer, we see a core loss. Core losses are of two types. One is eddy current losses, another is hysteresis losses. Here eddy current losses here purely depend on the laminated on the core. If the laminated core if the core is laminated, the eddy current losses can be reduced. So your option C is the right answer. To reduce the eddy current losses, transformer core must be laminated. So, if in the question how to reduce the history losses, to reduce the history losses we use the silicon steel material. So here in the question the answer is option C, that is to reduce the eddy current losses. So option C is the right answer. So the next question is 104. In a fast combination A, three resistance of 75 ohm each are connected in parallel. Second combination of B, two resistance of 12.5 ohms each are connected in this combination. A and B are connected in parallel, and the parallel connected in series with another 12.5 ohm resistor, and the whole connected across a 500 volt DC supply. The total current drawn from the source is option A is 20 ampere, option B is 15 ampere, option C is 25 ampere, option D is 50 ampere. So here in the question 375 ohm are connected in parallel. See 75 ohm are connected in parallel with A terminal, and two 12.5 ohm are connected in series with B terminal. Two 12.5 ohm resistance will connected in series with B terminal, and 375 resistance are connected in parallel in A terminal. Then A and B are connected, both A and B both are connected in parallel, and these parallel connection are series with the 12.5 ohm, and then at last 500 volt supply voltage is connected in series with this circuit. So here the question arise, find the total current input current flow to the circuit. So first of all we know I is equal to V by R. So V we know 500 volt. We calculate the total resistance value. So here first calculate the total resistance value. So here we first calculate the total resistance value. So first of all these 375 ohm are connected in series. So here first calculate the total resistance, this A terminal. So total here connected in parallel. So total resistance will be 1 by R is equal to 1 by 75 plus 1 by 75 plus 1 by 75. Then total resistance will be, after calculation, total resistance will be 25 ohm. Then in B terminal two resistance are in connected series. So 12.5 plus 12.5 is equal to 25 ohm. Then here A term total resistance across A terminal and total resistance across B terminal. We calculate that. Here we can find the 25 ohm, and here we can find the 25 ohm. So after calculating this 375 ohm are converted to 25 ohm, and two resistance 12.5 series are connected. So there is 25 ohm. Then again these A terminal and B terminal are connected in parallel. So total resistance will be how much? Well, now R is equal to 1 by R is equal to 1 by 25 plus 1 by 25. Then after calculation of find the 12.5. Then these 12.5, these 12, when we calculate this parallel, then these value is 12.5. Then these 12.5 and these 12.5 are connected in series. To total resistance how much? in series total resistance connected series, so R is equal to overall R is equal to 12.5 plus 12.5 is equal to R is equal to 25 ohm. So after the calculation we found the total equivalent resistance, that is 25 ohm. Then we calculate the I. How will we find the I? I will know V is equal to 500 volt and then R is equal to 25 ohm. Then I is equal to V by R. So 500 by 25, I is equal to 20 ampere. So option A is the right answer, that is 20 ampere. So the next question is 105. 105 says that which of the following domestic loads will draw minimum current from the domestic AC supply of 230 volt or 50 horse. Option A is 250 watt incandescent lamp with the operating power factor close to unity. Option B is a 250 watt electric iron operating at 0.5 lagging power factor. Option C is a 250 watt fluorescent lamp operating at 0.5 lagging power factor. Option D is a 250 watt fan operating at 0.65 lagging power factor. So here in the question asking that in which load the minimum current flow from the domestic AC supply of 230 volt. So your answer is option A, that is a 250 watt incandescent lamp with the operating power factor close to unity. So option A is the right answer. Then the next question is 106, that is the shape of the field EMF produced in a DC machine operating at no load with armature current approximated to 0 is. Option A is flat top, option B is phallipractical, option C is triangular, option D is sinusoidal. So your answer is option A, that is flat top. So here in the question, when the armature current is 0, the shape of the field EMF is flat top. So option A is the right answer. So the next question is 107, that is the electrical energy consumed in the month of March 2019 by a 100 number of LED bulbs of 15 watt each glowing for 10 hours in a day in the campus of an institute of higher learning in India is. Option C A is 465 watt hour, option B is 4.65 megawatt hour, option C is 465 kilowatt hour, option D is 46.5 kilowatt hour. So here on the question say that to solve the total amount of power consumed in the March month. So first of all we know March month of 31 day, per day we use 10 hour. So in 31 day we use how much? 31 into 10 is equal to 310 hour. Total March month we used 310 hour. Then how much balls or load? How much ball? 100 ball. Each ball of 15 watt. So total ball rating are how much? Now 100 into 15 is equal to 1500. The higher learning but total power consumed is equal to 310 into 1500 is equal to 465,000. Then answer will be 465 kilowatt hour. So your option A is the right option. Option C is the right answer, that is 465 kilowatt hour. So you are easily to calculate the total power consumed in the month of March. So your option C is the right answer, that is 465 kilowatt hour. So the next question is 108. The electromagnetic torque developed in a single phase single winding induction motor with a cage rotor at synchronous speed is. So here the question arises from the single phase induction motor with square cage rotor. It said that when the electromagnetic torque developed, then what will be the synchronous speed? The synchronous speed will be equal to 0. So your option D is the right answer, that is equal to 0. So the next question is 109, that is the DC level compound motor is suitable for load requiring. Option is constant speed, option B is variable speed, option C is speed that increase exponentially with time, option D is speed increasing linearly. So your option A is the right answer. At constant speed the DC level compound motor is suitable for load. So option A is the right answer, that is constant speed. So the next question is 110, that is the starting current in the DC motor is reduced by using a. Option A is resistor in series with field winding, option B is speed control in field current, field circuit. Option C is load box across the armature circuit. Option D is 3-point or 4-point starter. Here in the question say that when the DC motor is starting, then here the starting current is very high. To reduce this starting current, which type of component you use? Mainly this, to reduce the high starting current, we use 3-point or 4-point starter. So option D is the right answer, that is 3-point or 4-point starter. So next question is 111, that is the space angle between the main field MMF and armature MMF in DC machine is. Option A is 180 degree electrical, option B is 180 degree mechanical, option C is 90 degree electrical, option D is 0 degree electrical. Here in the question says that the angle between the main field flux and armature field flux. So here option C is the right answer. Mostly 90 degree electrical angle we see in the field MMF and armature MMF. So option C is the right answer, that is 90 degree electrical. So the next question is 112, that is in a DC machine operating at no load with armature current approximated to 0, the space angle between the magnetic neutral plane and the geometrical neutral plane is. Option A is 180 degree electrical, option B is 180 degree mechanical, option C is 90 degree electrical, option D is 0 degree electrical. So here the question that when the armature current will be 0, then asking that find the angle between the magnetical neutral axis and the geometrical neutral axis. So here angle will be 0 when armature current will be 0, no load case. The angle between the MNA or GNA, that is magnetical neutral axis and geometrical neutral axis, will be 0. So option D is the right answer, that is 0 degree electrical. So the next question is 113, that is an ammeter capable of reading a maximum current of 10 ampere is connected in series with the primary side winding of a single phase 2 winding step down transformer. The transformer is loaded to 50 ampere current in its secondary side. The turns ratio, that is primary to secondary, of this transformer is 10:1. The no load current may be neglected. The ammeter connected in series in the primary side will show a reading of option A is 1 ampere, option B is 5 ampere, option C is 10 ampere, and option D is 50 ampere. So here in the question says that a step down transformer is given and a ammeter is connected in primary side, that is secondary side. And primary side an ammeter is connected, and ammeter rated current is how much? Rated current 10 ampere. It is rated current, not the primary current. This is ammeter rated current, not primary current. This is 10 ampere is the ammeter rated current. And step down transformer is given and turns ratio K is equal to 10:1. 10:1, that turns ratio means winding factor, that is 10:1. So in secondary side a 50 ampere current flow to the load, that is secondary current, that is I2 is equal to 50 ampere, that is flow to the load. So you are asking that to find the total current drawn from the source, that is find the primary current, to calculate the primary current. How to calculate the primary current? First then see, here no load current will be 0, so turns ratio K is equal to N1 by N2, that is equal to 10/1. Then find the I1, that is primary current. We know there is a formula, that is we know I1 by I2 is equal to N2 by N1. Here I2 is given, N2 is given, N1 is given. Then we can easily find the I1 value. How we find the I1 value? And I1 is equal to N2 into I2 by N1, that is 1 into 50 into by 10. That is we easily put the value of N2, I2 and N1. And after that I1 is equal to 5 ampere. So option B is the right answer, that is 5 ampere. So primary current how much? That is 5 ampere. Option B is the right answer. So the next question is 114, that is the total power input to the rotor of a 3-phase induction motor is P2 and its operating slip is S. Assume the total rotor core loss and friction and winding loss to be constant from 0 speed at the to full load speed of the motor. its rotor its total rotor copper loss will be option A is 1 minus S P2, option B is S into P2, option C is S P2 by 1 minus S, option D is 1 minus S by P2. So in this question asking that find the rotor copper loss. So here 3-phase induction motor is there and input power rotor is P2, and another thing is given, that is rotor core loss, friction and winding loss will be 0. So here that is directly formula basis question. So your answer will be rotor copper loss will be S into P2. So option B is the right answer, that is S into P2, that is rotor copper loss. And here in the mechanical power is not given, but we say that I say that is mechanical power will be PAG into 1 minus S. PAG is equal to air gap power. But here in the question only rotor copper loss will be asking, so the answer will be S into P2. So the next question is 115, that is within the full load range the speed torque characteristic of a DC shunt motor closely resembles the speed torque characteristic of option A is universal motor, option B is synchronous motor, option C is DC series motor, option D is 3-phase induction motor. So here the answer is the option B, that is synchronous motor. So option B is the right answer. So the next question is 116, that is if the phase sequence of the 3-phase input supply voltage applied to the terminals of a 3-phase induction motor is changed twice in succession without disturbing the mechanical load torque demand on its shaft, then the motor will run. Option A is at reduced speed in same direction, option B is at same speed in opposite direction, option C is at reduced speed in opposite direction, option D is at same speed in same direction. So here in the question that a 3-phase induction motor is there and give the 3-phase supply, that is RYB. Initially when you give the 3-phase supply sequence is RYB, then assume that the induction motor rotated in anti-clockwise direction. This is the direction of the induction motor. Then this is the direction of the induction motor, that is anti-clockwise direction. Then in the question say that twice time we change the phase sequence of the induction motor. First time we change the induction motor phase sequence of induction motor, that is initially there is RYB, and first time change RBY. Then here we say that here we see that the 3-phase motor rotated in clockwise direction opposite to the initial condition. First motor is connected to motor is rotated in anti-clockwise direction. In second case the motor is rotated in clockwise direction. In another second time we change the phase sequence. When you second time change the phase sequence, first case RYB is there, and second case we change the phase sequence RBY. In the third time we again change the phase sequence, that is RYB. Here we see that the motor will rotate at initial speed, that is anti-clockwise direction. So here option D is the right answer, that is at same speed and same direction, and initial as it is same to the initial condition. Initial condition the motor is rotated in anti-clockwise direction, and here when we phase change twice time, then you see that also here the motor will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So option D is the right answer, that is at same speed in same direction. So next question is 117, that is a frequency of the EMF induced in the rotor circuit of a 3-phase 50 Hz 4-pole induction motor is 2.5 Hz. It runs at a speed of option A is 1325 rpm, option B is 1375 rpm, option 4 is 1425 rpm, option 12 D is 1250 rpm. Here in the question say that to find the speed of the rotor. Find the speed of the rotor. That in initially condition there is first case frequency is 50 Hz and P is equal to 4. So N is equal to 120 F by P, that is N is equal to 120 into 50 by 4, that is 1500 rpm. In second case F is equal to 2.5 Hz. We know P must be same in rotor. In any machine the pole must be same. Stator pole and rotor pole always same. So pole must be same. So here also P is equal to 4. So here speed, how much speed? N is equal to 120 F by P, and 120 into 2.5 by 4 is equal to N is equal to 75 rpm. So after calculation the two speed, that is one is 1500 and another is 75 rpm. So the overall speed will be N is equal to 1500 minus 75, that is 1425 rpm. So option C is the right answer, that is 1425 rpm. So option C is the right answer. So the next question is 118, that is a straight conductor of length 50 cm is placed at a right angle to a magnetic field of 0.5 t. When it is moved at a tangential velocity of 32 meter per second inside the same magnetic field, the electromotive force developed across it will be option A is 8 volt, option B is 10 volt, option C is 4 volt, option D is 6 volt. So here in the question asking that to find the electromotive force. So here directly answer will be find how, here the formula is E is equal to VBL, that is EMF is equal to electromotive force is equal to VBL. V means velocity of the conductor, that is 30, that is given by 32 meter per second, and B means magnetic field, that is 0.5 t. T means Tesla unit, and VBL, L means length of the conductor. Here these three values are given, we find the easily we can solve this question. But another main thing is that the unity must be same, all the unity must be same. So here EMF formula will be VBL, and that we put the value of the VBL, then the answer will be, so after put this value of VBL, the answer will be 8 volt. So option A is the right answer, that is 8 volt. So the next question is 119, that is the short circuit test is performed on a single phase 2 winding transformer laboratory by applying reduced voltage to determine its option is core loss, option B is copper loss, option is friction and windage loss, option D is none of these. So this question is comes under transformer part. Here in transformer two type of test will be there. One is short circuit test, another is open circuit test. Short circuit test will be held due to find the copper loss. Here option B is the right answer, that is copper loss. If in the question say that in open circuit test, why you occur the open circuit test to find the iron loss. If in the question say that why you occur the open circuit test, answer will be to find the iron loss. So here in this question option B is the right answer, copper loss. To find the copper loss we occur short circuit test. So option B is the right answer, that is copper loss. So the last question is 120, that is in a DC differential compound generator the conductor of option A is thin cross section and large number, option B thin cross section and less number, option C is thick cross section and large number, option D is thick cross section of less number. So this question arises from the DC machine part. Here in the question says that in DC machine conductor are used, and in this question asking that to what is the size of the conductor. This question arises that what is the size of the conductor. So size of the conductor is thin cross section and a large number. So option A is the right answer, that is thin cross section and a large number, that is the size of the compound generator winding. So here totally 40 question, around 40 question we discuss about electrical part of previous year question, and this is the previous question of the 2019 year. So this is mostly required for the exam point of view. So you just practice this question and also practice this question related theory, then easily we can handle the OJ exam. So that's all. Okay, thank you.